I bet you guys thought Queensland started in Brisbane. It didn't. It started right here in Redcliffe. The first settlement was sent here from Port Macquarie and New South Wales to control the ever-growing criminal population. This is the Ambass Hotel. The Ambass was actually where the old prison was built. So people today sit around here, come here for the weekend, they don't realise that, yeah, it's really got a dark past. So, yeah, we're about to go up. So that was the Ambass. The Ambass was where they built the first jail. So that was the holding cells underneath and all that sort of stuff. So, there was a ship that sailed in with all the prisoners on it. And that was the first one to come into Redcliffe. Hey mate, how are you? It was actually started here in Settlement Cove. But people who come here to relax on the weekends, go to the markets and enjoy the beautiful views here. Little do they know, this place had a really, really dark past. This place was the first settlement cove for the penal colonies.
History. They say all the big Norfolk pines, you know, along here, right down, which are like this round. And they planted all them because back in those days you had a wooden mast.
Oh, yeah.
Whether they, not just other ships.
Yeah.
Imagine a poor buggers trying to saw them down with a...
Yeah. Well, apparently all the, same as the Ambass was all built from wood then because it was hard to get metal here. And when they stopped here, it was because of the bricks, the red dirt, the bricks. Yeah. And they, because of the salt water, they didn't know how to do everything. So, yeah. It's so interesting, I thought it was just a coffee neighbourhood, you know?
We've turned in, I've only been here 30 years, I'm from Towns.
Yeah.
But and a lot of the stuff like that you hear along the way, and they've got a lot of those little information.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going on the walk today, so yeah.
Oh, well, have a good day.
Thank you, it's good talking to you, thank you. That's what I mean, Redcliffe is more friendly than it seems. But let's go check out, so guys, this is the amphitheatre. Now the amphitheatre comes to life. It used to come to life on the weekends. People used to come play basketball and all sorts of things. All right, so yeah, this is the amphitheatre. Guys, come down on Thursday night. I'm going to start playing basketball down here. So Jamie Summers, get your ass down here. Any Redcliffeans on the servo guy calls for you, mate. Get down here. This was the first touchdown point of the ship. This was the place. You see this wall here? Oh, definitely a great place for it. I remember when I first came in, it wasn't here.
Oh, okay, there we go.
The bridge was still see-through. So apparently this wall is shaped like these sails. So this was the first ship that sailed into this point. From there they went and built the jail. Apparently they came here for the dirt and the soil, made bricks here, wood. The Ambass was totally made of wood because they had troubles getting things here. And then about a year later, things started to go wrong. So the lady said before that a lot of weddings and ceremonies are here. Leave in the comments if you'd still hold your wedding here knowing this was a penal colony. Like it's the history and the past of the place. Like for such a beautiful environment, the place has such a sad but satisfying history. So fellow photographers and videographers alike will come flood to Redcliffe for the scenic shots. It's beautiful here in the morning, it's beautiful here at night. We have all the shops you need out here. It is 20 minutes away from Brisbane, so it's not even far away. City and reality and everything else. But even so, if it was and you don't have transport, Redcliffe now has a train station. So it takes about an hour to get here from Brisbane on the train, but it's not a bad ride. So yeah, come out to Redcliffe, have a look, have a visit. It's definitely worth, even though it's got a crazy past, it's definitely worth a visit. People jog, run, exercise here every day. And the lifestyle is relaxed. So guys, if you're ever bored on the weekend, come out and have a look at Redcliffe. But just, yeah, crazy. Next time you're out here sitting here, just imagine what it would have been like for prisoners on a ship. I think there was It was a crazy amount. There was something like 71 prisoners or something like that. It's just so crazy to think that the whole of Brisbane, the whole of Queensland started right here in Redcliffe. Now guys, there's also an actual walking tour that you can do of this thing. So they have posts around, you can look it up online. It's called the Redcliffe Penal Settlement Track. And you can actually go around and follow, they've got little signs that tells you the story, and you can go around and actually follow what had happened and where the points are, and it's available online to look it up. So any information you want, you guys just jump on there and have a look. But as you can see, Redcliffe is stunning. It's beautiful at all times. Like, there's not one time I can say that it hasn't been beautiful. This is the site. This site of this memory was dedicated by the Mayor of Redcliffe in January 1st, 1931. The Oxley Memorial, erected by the residents of Redcliffe, unveiled by Lieutenant Colonel His Excellency Sir Leslie Wilson, the Governor of Queensland, December 26, 1932. So as you can see guys, this is where they first pulled in. Whole of Queensland started right here. Behind me is the Moncomo Hotel. As you can see, that is Redcliffe's accommodation. We've got some new stuff coming up over this side, but for now, Moncomo is the accommodation you want if you come to Redcliffe. It's also the main club of the place, etc, etc. All right, so we're coming up to any one of my Redcliffeans who know the area. We're coming up to Bluewater Square. Now, this is where they used to march the prisoners from back down the Ambass all the way up to here. Well, not all the way, it's not even a long way, but they used to march them up to here, and this was what you called the whipping post. They used to make everyone watch, but anyone who did anything wrong, you got tied to a post here and whipped, flogged in front of everybody. So the typical things were 50 to 100 lashes, and there was no mercy on those lashes. Those lashes stayed consistent no matter what. So here's the convict trail. This was the Commandant's house. A prefabricated timber house was transported to Redcliffe Point on the Amity. So there you go, it was the Amity, not the Agady. In 1824 as a dwelling for the Commandant, Lieutenant Henry Miller and his family. Parts missing from the prefab kit were replaced by convict sawyers from Blue Gums felled in the vicinity. The house was dismantled for its 1825 move to the banks of Brisbane River and re-erected with the brick chimneys on the side of the governing printing office in William Street, Brisbane. So somewhere in the middle of the Bluewater car park is the site of the old jail. Until 1916, a triangular tree into which were driven iron rings to which the unfortunate prisoners were chained stood in the area. People would come to view this grim relic until the congregational minister of the time had it cut down. So, hey, anyone in Redcliffe who's from here, this is where the place where they come and took people and flogged them. And now it's a place you bring your children to play games. That is crazy. So there it is again. Tell me if you'd still bring your kids to play here if you knew that prisoners used to get flogged here. How are ya? So that's kind of a little crazy. So right outside the putt and play, or the undersea putt and play at Redcliffe Bluewater Square, there's a pole that pretty much says this is where the people used to get flogged. So that's pretty insane. In the comments, let me know if you're still going to bring your kids down here to play, knowing that this was a flogging point for prisoners. Oh, it's not really funny. I shouldn't laugh. But anyway, that's a very, very sad past, or a serious history for Redcliffe, a place that people come to have coffee. All right, the soldiers' barracks. So the store barracks are thought to have stood about 250 metres to the west of the prisoners' barracks. Cottages for the storekeeper, surgeon and married soldiers are believed to be located around this area. For my Redcliffeans, that means the Redcliffe Tavern that's where the soldiers' barracks were. So the car park in the Bluewater Square is where the prison was, or round about the Ambassador. So if you're ever bored on the weekend, you want to take the kids out to see something and also educate them a little bit about the history of Brisbane, bring them out to Redcliffe. Have a feed at the Ambass. There's ice cream places here. Redcliffe Ice Cream is great. I've done a video on there. Check it out. The place is prime for the weekend. If you're bored, you've got nothing to do, grab the kids, come out and spend some time with the family. Most people here are friendly, not all, but most. Right, site of the first police citizens youth club in Redcliffe, opened 1963. So, this was the site with the first PCYC. And again, for my Redcliffeans, this was the place when I first came here in 2000. This had a great putt-putt. Who remembers the putt-putt that was here? It was like right here where the lagoon is and the duck pond and shit like that. So any one of my Redcliffeans, put in, if you remember the putt-putt, and also drop in a memory that you have from Redcliffe. Something that's changed that people will remember, like the bridge. When I first got here, the bridge you could see through it was made of metal grate. Which was kind of interesting because now it's just all cement. Right, so we've got a site here. The first people, like all of Australia, this region had a rich indigenous culture prior to European occupation. So we're gonna put that there so you can have a look. Scan that, guys, and have a look. This is about the first people that were here, the Aboriginals, indigenous people. Humpybong Trail, the first Maroons. The first people of this area were distinguished by the red ochre paint they applied to their bodies and belongings, embodied the colour of the country. This area was known to them as Kwan Kwan, meaning blood, Kuin Kuin, or something, Kwan Kuin. We need an Aboriginal. If you're Aboriginal and you know what that means, or how to pronounce that, please give us a yell. Reflecting the red of the soil and the cliffs. Today's traditional custodians, the descendants of the First Nations people, maintain a strong connection with this country. So the very idea of this video is the European settlements. This is when we first came here, when Brisbane was first made. Don't forget that those people are already here. It's not like we found this place. So yeah, this was the first point. Aboriginals used to paint their bodies red and their clothes red, to obviously because of the land around them. What do we got here? How did this place become Humpybong? The Redcliffe penal colony was short-lived. The water source was insufficient for such a settlement, and the land proved difficult to farm. Oxley had predicted that a permanent colony would be better built on the banks of the Brisbane River. So there you go, so Brisbane River, that's where it all began. Alright guys, so we are now at the back of the Redcliffe Museum. Redcliffe Museum will actually tell it way better than I've ever told it. Yeah, the Redcliffe Museum will actually tell it a way better story than what I've actually told here today, but at least you get some views. So down here we have the skate park and the duck pond. Another nice place just to visit. There's birds, wildlife. Great little area for the weekend. Like anywhere else, there's a little trouble here and there, but nowhere near as bad as other places. This timber is sourced from the old Hornibrook Bridge. Presented to Redcliffe Historical Society by Moreton Bay Regional Council. The seat is made of recycled timber from the Hornibrook Bridge Highway, 1935 to 1979. So guys, this is a piece of history by itself, the piece of the first bridge. If you're bored on the weekend, come down, give out Redcliffe a check out, and do the trail itself and have a look. Might learn something. Thanks guys for watching, see you on the next one.